And next, we will try to do what you guys are. Hey, how's it going everyone? This is DCSU81 and today I'm very excited to be doing a comparison review for this amazing Spider-Man from Mafex versus the amazing Spider-Man from City Toys. Okay, let's start off the comparison by talking about the box, and the one that I have it with me now is from City Toys. And very surprisingly, I have not thrown away this Mafex box. It's still with me because I have not taken out any of the accessory except for the figure. You can see all the accessory are still intact, which is why I didn't throw it yet, which is good for me because I can do a comparison for you guys now and you can see how big of a difference it is. It still looks similar in a lot of ways. You can see how the windows shape is and the pictures that they use. Of course, they actually changed the Marvel away. They erased the Marvel and put 185 here, and from Mafex they changed it to City. Very smart. They're still using the same pictures, and of course the big difference is the size. You can see the City Toys one is a lot wider and the Mafex one is smaller, but it is also a lot more thicker, as you can see. I just like how smart City Toy is because they couldn't put this web swinging pictures because the box is wider, so they changed it into a museum pose. Yeah, very smart, and it's very much thicker. It's like double the size of the City Toys. And this other side, they actually use back the same pictures, but once again, of course, the Mafex box is of much better quality, as you can see, as compared to the City Toys. And the top, I believe, is pretty much the same. As for below, yeah, a lot of mumbo jumbo, and at the back is also almost the same. Of course, they changed away all the Mafex and all the disclaimer, all the official stuff. They actually changed it to some Chinese. Oh no, this is not even Chinese, this is Japanese. Wow, okay. Yeah, so but they didn't change the picture. As you can see, it's still very much the same. Of course, the Mafex box is always in a much better condition as compared to the City Toys, which a lot of dent here and there. Yep. Now these are all the accessories for the Mafex ones that is still in the box, as I mentioned earlier. So I'd like to talk about the accessory given. It is exactly the same as what City Toys are given us. 5 set of hands, including the one on the figure. 1 set of magnetic hands and 1 set of magnetic feet is exactly the same. 1 interchangeable heads, and then we have the webbings is also the same. 2 short, 2 medium, 2 long ones. Yep, it's exactly. Oh, the City Toys doesn't give us this piece here, which is for the stand, but they do give us a stand. Of course, it's not as better looking as the original. And the Mafex also comes with this piece of paper to guide you how to check whether your Mafex is a genuine product. Yep, so everything is exactly the same except for this piece. Nevertheless, I still want to compare on the hands. Yep, I just randomly choose some hands. This is from Mafex, of course, and they also comes with this piece of plastic, which is very good for organizing all your accessory. The City Toys one, of course, they don't comes with any. And let's check on it. You can see that the hands are slightly smaller and the linings are not being painted as well as the original Mafex. And let's do another comparison with these web shooting hands. You can see that the paint for the City Toys is really not as clean as the one from the original Mafex. And of course, I'll be comparing the interchangeable head as well. You can see the ones on my left is from Mafex and the one on my right is from City Toys. It's almost very identical, except the City Toys one is slightly smaller in scale, and because of the small scale, you can see that it's also slightly more darker because the linings are much closer together, so it looks in a way it looks darker. Yeah, from here you can see the linings on the City Toys somehow is much clearer on the head as compared to the one from Mafex. Yep. This is interesting. And next, let's compare on the overall for these two figures, and let's take a closer look. You can see the paint is actually not too bad for the one on CD Toys. This is original from Mafex. Even the blue is slightly different. I just kind of like this blue much better. This one is a slightly darker kind of blue, and yeah, the linings are being painted not consistent. Yeah, there are some part you can see it's not being painted, but for the original Mafex is I think it's much more consistent. At the back looks pretty good. Yeah, even though it's not consistent on the lining, but the paint are pretty good. It doesn't have any like smudges or things like that. And the joints are also being painted just like the original ones. Let's take a look at the back. Yep, it's being painted rather well. And for the head, like my comparison earlier, is slightly smaller. That's why it looks kind of darker in a way, but for the one on Mafex is still okay. Yep, so it basically looks very good together. Wow. And next, for the articulation, I have played around with them. It's pretty much the same range. Here are both of them bending forwards, bending backwards, kicking forwards, both arms lifted up sideways, as well as doing a split. And the only major difference is this one from CD Toys is full of squeaking sound. You can even hear it right now. Yeah, just by moving the hands. But the one from the Mafex is very smooth. There is no squeaking sound or whatsoever. Yep, that's the major difference for both of them. And next, let's talk about the scale. And if you do realize, I have never put them side by side up until now. Even at the beginning, when I do the introduction, I try to put one at the front and one at the back so you can't see the scale. And right now, I'm just going to put them together. Oh my goodness, it is so tiny. I mean, it just looks like his younger brother. Yeah, but we all know that CD Toys is actually smaller than the original, but I didn't expect it to be this small. I thought it'd be somewhere like this maybe. Yep, so it is much smaller. Even at the side you can see. Okay, I mean, I'm not complaining. I still can accept, because sometimes Spider-Mans are much smaller as compared to other superheroes, and he does have all the dynamic poses. So when he is on dynamic poses, you can't really tell that he's smaller. Yep, so it doesn't really matter to me actually. But if you are someone who just like to pose it standing, yeah, he's gonna be smaller. So let's do a quick one with Captain America from Marvel Legends. You can see I do feel that it's still okay though, because he is a teenager after all. So he is much smaller as compared to this Super Serum Soldier, which is much buffer, much taller. Yeah, so I think the scale is still okay. And next, I'd like to think this is the most exciting part of the comparison, which is head swapping or even part swapping. So we are going to do some swapping of the hands and the head and see if it is compatible. Although we know the head is slightly smaller for the CD Toys. So let's try the CD Toys head on to this Mafex and see if it does fits. The hole just looks fitting, but unfortunately it doesn't. And even if it does it looks weird with the smaller head? I think it's still okay though. Let's try the Mafex head on the CD Toys, which of course it wouldn't fit, it would be very loose. And the head is, yeah, as you can see, is much bigger now. It doesn't looks well on this small body, yeah, but it doesn't fit. Okay, so let's try on the hands. Okay, I believe the hands should work. Okay, so this is CD Toys hands onto the Mafex. Yes, it does fit pretty well. Let's try the Mafex ones onto the CD Toys. Okay, yep, it does fits very well. Okay, so the point is, you can still salvage the part. If you ever breaks any of your Mafex, you can use this joint from the CD Toys onto it, because it does fit the hands perfectly. Even for the legs, I believe it should fit. Let's try. Okay, I'll put the Mafex legs onto the CD Toys. Oh, nope. It's a bit loose. Okay, never mind. Let's try the City Toys ones onto Mafex. Oh yeah, for the fit, it's not fitting. I think the joint is much bigger. So if you ever broke this one, don't think you can actually use the one from the City Toys. Yeah, let's do a quick comparison. Yep, the one from the City Toys is actually a smaller joint for the legs. But nevertheless, if you ever break it, maybe you can still, add some blue tack so that it will actually fit the legs in. Yeah, not so bad. I mean, you can still do some salvaging here. Let's compare the neck joint since we are here. Yeah, you can see the one from the City Toy is actually much smaller as compared to the Mafex ones, which is why it doesn't really fit for the heads. Okay, so for my final verdict, I would still say that the City Toys has done a pretty good job. But let's be honest here, no matter how good they did it, it will never be as good as the original. Yeah, as you can see just now from the overall look, yeah, there are some lining are not being painted properly, or there are a little bit of smudges here and there. For the articulation, you can hear the squeaking sound. And the biggest flaw is of course the scale. But if you really prefer a smaller Spider-Man, then yes, this City Toys is the perfect choice for you. But nevertheless, I would just say that you get what you paid for. I mean, if you can't afford to get this guy or you can't hunt him down, I do think that City Toy is still the best choice. But if you are someone that you already have it and you think that this will be as good, unfortunately no. But you can still use all the parts in case you break any joints, for the hands, not for the head because it's smaller, and not for the feet as well because it's smaller. But the knee joint, I think you can still reuse, as well as some of these butterfly joints. Maybe you can just salvage the parts here. Yep, so it's still much cheaper than you buy another original. So that's my giveaway for these two comparisons. I will still keep it because I do like a smaller Spider-Man. So in other words, yes, I'm still recommending City Toys even if you already have the Mafex and you wanted a smaller Spider-Man. So I do hope that you enjoy these comparisons, and I do hope that it helps you to see what's the big difference between the originals and the City Toys. And I'll catch you guys again in my next video.